So although this book is academically very rigorous, it's really written from the point of view of practitioners. We draw upon a wide variety of major evaluations by actors, mostly in the international development field, such as the World Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, research institutions like the CGIAR system, and NGOs. So one of the major purposes for the book is to really understand the lessons from the evaluations of climate-related projects and programs around the world. So the second purpose is really to look into the approaches and methodologies of evaluation. So overall, we can say that our evaluation methods have become much more robust in the past few years. And I'm not only talking about experimental and quasi-experimental methods such as randomized controlled trials, but a much broader suite of techniques that we can use to evaluate. So climate change is a very broad area, and it manifests itself in many ways. So, of course, a major part of it is to deal with emissions from industry, from transportation, agriculture, and so forth. But there's also a much broader and different set of actions that are needed. And for example, land use change, land cover change, forestry, carbon sequestration, and so on are very important for climate change. So these kinds of phenomena that look into issues such as forestry and land cover, they lend themselves very well to geospatial technologies. We can use remote sensing, we can use geographical information systems and so forth to analyze trends. We can actually take time series data over a fairly long period of time from remote sensing and to look what has actually happened on the ground and use different kinds of tools and techniques to then to relate that to the programs and policies and projects that we have been implementing, and to try to isolate their impacts and effects on what has happened on the ground. So in this book, we address issues relating to climate change policy, climate change mitigation, and climate change adaptation. So it's a very broad area. My main point probably from the evaluation point of view is that you need a wide variety of approaches and methodologies and techniques. So one size doesn't fit all. It's very important that it's your evaluation questions and the object of your evaluation that determine what kind of methods you use. Unfortunately, quite often it is that people know one method and then they try to apply it to any question at hand. But it's very important that the process is the other way around, that the form follows function. So this is a very rapidly evolving field. Both climate change, dealing with climate change impacts and effects, that is a very rapidly evolving, but also the evaluation of climate change is something where the frontiers are changing constantly. I think that the book that we have produced is really the state of the art in this field for the time being. But of course, we also hope that the book will stimulate more discussion and development of new approaches and methodologies on how we evaluate climate change actions, policies, programs, projects. And of course, the ultimate goal is that these evaluations will be then used more and will be more useful to practitioners and policymakers in deciding what they should be doing and what actually is effective and efficient in addressing these issues. And eventually, of course, we do hope that such utilization of evaluation will actually lead to better programming.